When you decide to start a brand new YouTube channel, or when somebody pays you to help them start a brand new YouTube channel, you know that there's a lot of research to be done. You not only need to find similar channels, but you also have to look and probably put into a database all the stats like subscribers and views and when the channel has started and all these things that will give you an overview of which channels are good to model after, which channels you should continue researching. And to be honest, this could be a very long, very tedious, and very mundane work that will take quite a few hours. But I have created this system that will allow you to shrink all this to mere minutes. It involves a Chrome extension, a Make automation, and an Airtable database. And as usual, if you want to get all these goodies, all my blueprints, including this one, my Airtable database, and all the other databases, make sure you come and join my school community. As you can see, it's full of a lot of useful stuff. I don't only teach you skills, I don't only give you my templates and blueprints, but I also teach you how to set up, launch, start, and grow a business. So make sure you click on the button below and come and join us. Now, let me show you how the whole system works. I've got this brand new channel, which I called Island Wanderlust. And if it was the old way, I'll be like, okay, I want to create a travel channel that is going to be around Ireland. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some research and I'm going to put best island vacations. And I'm going to start looking at the different channels, tropical vacations, 33 best islands, Fiji family resort, top 10 islands to visit or whatever. And then I have to make sure that each video I'm clicking on is not from the exactly same channel. So as you can see, first one is from Island Hopper, this one is from Passport Pages, all about vacay. But sometimes you'll start seeing the same channels popping up over and over, regardless of how many keywords you're giving, because these are some of the biggest channels. So how do we find these channels without spending 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 hours actually looking? Well, something I found that is super, super cool is this little Google Chrome extension called SimilarTube. Now, you can get it for free and they give you about 100 credits before you have to start paying for it. But if you're just starting or if this is your first channel, you can definitely try it. All you need to do is click on the link that I'm going to give you and basically install it. So for me, it says remove from Chrome. For you, it will say add to Chrome. And that's it. And then you'll be looking for this little S in a purple background in your extensions. If you can find them, just click on your extensions here and find it. And just click on the little pin to pin it to your Chrome so you can actually see it. Then what happens is, actually what I found is that the little button doesn't pop up straight away. I had to close all my YouTube tabs and then reopen them. So when I reopen those, and for example, sorry, this was the channel we just looked at. So if we're looking at, say, 33 best islands, and I'm going to Island Hopper, and when I click on the channel, not the video, but the actual channel, I'm going to mute this. You will see that now I have a brand new button that says SimilarTube. And when I click on it and then click on scan, usually if you are on the free account, which I'm with a free account right now, you will generally see that you might be in a queue. But the good thing is that usually it's only 1 or 2 people in the queue before you. I'm already at number 1, and in a moment it will take my inquiry and it will start scanning for me. So I'm still waiting, and now it's scanning for me, as you can see. And what is happening now is going to go and find a lot of other travel channels that are similar to Island Hopper TV. Sometimes, just because of the nature of the channel, especially if you're not quite familiar, it may come up with some that are not exactly for you, but then you're going to go to another channel and do another search, which is a lot faster than trying to do it manually. I can guarantee you that. Once you've exhausted your credits, you're going to see that now all the searches are blurred and you won't be able to see it. So that's when you'll need to start paying. But let me show you each channel. So you have the same channels like the Island Hopper, but they will have this little arrow where it says view detail. So all you need to do for each one of them is to click and it will start the channel for you. And I'm going to go back, and this is the way to actually do the search very quickly. So you can very quickly just scan through these channels and make a decision if they're for you or not, and just grab the links, the URLs, and just put them somewhere safe while you're building your automation or while you're setting up your Airtable. So then to actually do the research and get, let me just get rid of this. We want to get some details like how many subscribers they have, when they've joined, how many views they have, and all this stuff. So if you're doing it manually, you'll be clicking on more on every single channel and then copying and pasting in your little base, in your database. You know, it has that many views, copy and paste. It has that many videos. It has that many subscribers. And it is very tedious. And I'm a very lazy person and I don't want to do it. So what I've done is I've got an automation that will take every single URL that you put in your database, and I've got a database in Airtable. So all you need to do is put your URL in here, and then my automation will basically grab it, will find the channel ID, because if you look, YouTube is now giving us these fancy URLs with the handles, which Make cannot process. So you actually need to find the channel ID, which is this here. Some of them have it, most of them don't. So the automation will grab it, it will find it, it will parse it through the JSON, and then it will grab all the details and put them in Airtable. But let's start from the beginning. The number one thing you need to have is to create a YouTube API in your Google Cloud Console. And I have a video for you under this one that will show you exactly how to do it. Now, when you set up your Google YouTube API, you will find that you also have a daily quota, which is about 10,000. Once you hit your quota, if you're trying to still use the automation or any other automation, it's not going to work. You'll have to wait until the next day. And to find your quota is once you create your project, and don't worry about that, you'll find out everything about how to do this in the other video. You will basically make sure that you go to enabled APIs and services. Then when you scroll down, you will see your YouTube data API version 3. This is the one you have if you set it up correctly. When you click on it, you will see that in here you have quotas and system limits. When you click on that and scroll down a little bit, you will see I have used about 12% of my quota for today. Once I hit 10,000, this will be red and I won't be able to use it until the next day. So this is the first thing that you need to set up and to keep in mind. The next thing we're going to set up is our Airtable and our Make automation. Okay, we'll start with the Airtable. So basically, I created a table, I called it channels, and the columns, and the columns I've selected are channel name, URL, and I've set it up as a proper URL in here, subscribers, views, joined, the channel ID, and then I have another column for revenue. Now this revenue is something that we need to do manually because I haven't found a way to do it automatically. But once we have all the channels we want, then we're going to have a look at the revenue. Okay, so this is the first thing we need to do. Then once we have our table set up, we're going to go into Make, and the first thing we're going to do is add our custom webhook. And when we add our custom webhook, all you need to do is to copy the address to the clipboard. You just click on this button that says copy address to clipboard, and then we're going to go back to our Airtable, because in order to send any data from Airtable into Make, we actually need to create an automation in our Airtable. And you'll see here we have data, the data is our database, and the automations are here at the back. And when we set up a brand new automation, we're going to give it a trigger when a record is created, and then we want to run a script. This is only two-step automation. And I'm going to give the exact code. So when you go here on the right hand side, I will edit my code, and I'll give you this code that you can just copy and paste. And the only other thing you need to do is actually map out which fields do you want to be passed on to Make. And we want the URL, because this is the only thing we'll be adding into our database, and then the rest will be done by Make. So all I'm doing here is I'm mapping up my URL. I'm just typing URL as the name, and then I'm clicking on this blue plus button, and I'm going to find my URL, which I just missed, I think. Yeah, this is the URL. Then the other thing you need to map out is the webhook URL, and you need to actually type it exactly as it is, webhook underscore URL, and then paste that webhook address you just copied from here, this one here. And then you're going to test your automation. If the test is successful, that's all you need to do. You need to click on finish editing, and then make sure that you turn your automation on, because otherwise it's not going to work. And if we go back to data, we can just leave our database as it is at the moment. Okay, so our first module is done. We've got our webhook, and it is mapped out to our Airtable, and it will receive data when it's triggered. The next module is excuse me, a search records module. So as soon as we receive the data, we need to go on and have a look at those records, and we are going to look at two columns. The first one is the URL, because this is the data that we actually have in Airtable, and this is the data that triggers the automation. And then we're also going to look at the created date. The reason we want to look at the created date is because we want to only look at the last record. I didn't have it mapped out like that before with the created and the formula, and it was looking through every single record, and it was pulling every single record through it. So, and I had it a limit of 10, which was another mistake. So it will pull 10 records at the same time, and we'll go through all of them, and my YouTube API will be done in like 5 minutes. I'll be reaching my quota, and then I won't be able to continue. So I've set the limit back to 1. Don't worry about the data. This data will pass on when you upload the blueprint that you're going to get. The only other thing you need to set up, if it's not set up, but it should pass on with the blueprint, is how we sort the criteria of how we sort the created field. And this created field, I have it usually as a hidden field because I just don't want it to show. And these two fields we have to have in our Airtables all the time, especially if we're passing data backwards and forwards, if we're using formulas, if we're using automations. So created is the date that this record was created. Then if we need to update a record, for example, we'll need the modified date field. But I generally hide them. And of course, all this will come with your Airtable template. So don't worry about that as well. And then we're going to use a text parser that will match the pattern. So basically, what we're trying to say is, hey, look at this channel that has a handle that starts with an A, and let's have a look at it. As you can see, we're saying, hey, look at this with the handle that starts with an @ and whatever that handle is. Where's my automation? This is what we're looking at. Go and have a look at that. And we're going to press OK. And then with an HTTP module where we're making a request, we will say, hey, can you search for this handle? In this case, I've got Dreamy Travels, and we're just mapping it up here. And find me the channel ID, which is this ID here. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to actually grab any of the stats from the channel. So this is something that we need to do. And then we're parsing this on as a JSON. And so this is a parse JSON. That's all you need to do in here. Then we're going to make another request. So this request this time is, now that we have our channel ID, as you can see, if we click on here, I actually have my channel ID. So the previous module has found it, and now I can map it out. And I'm saying, hey, can you go and have a look at the statistics? As you can see, content, details ID. Can you look at these stats and grab them for me? And then we're going to parse them again with another JSON. We're only just mapping the data. That's all we need to do. And when we do this, our last module is to update our Airtable record. And this time, we can actually map out everything. As you can see, we can map out, if we go into items and then snippet, and then we can find the title. We've got the custom URL. We have, what else we have in the statistics? We have the view count, the video count. So basically we can get all the data. And I don't even have all the columns that you can have, because there's a lot of other things that you can map out. As I said, you can map out the country. You can map out, what else do we have? You can map out how many videos they have, and all these other goodies. But for our exercise, just to do a search, we are going to use only these 3 or 4 stats that we want, like subscribers, views, and joined. But as I said, if you create more columns here, you can definitely map out more stats. And this is all we're going to do. Yeah, this is basically it. And you just do it over and over again. Now let's run it once and see how it performs. So because I've run it before, I've run into a few problems and I fixed it. It asks me if I want to use existing data or if I want to wait for new data. And I'm saying, let's wait for new data. So my webhook is sitting now, listening for something new. Okay, and I'm going to go into this channel, is the Maldives Arena. And all I'm going to do is come here and give it the URL. Then if I go back to my make account, you will see it's already ran through. And if I go to my database, as you can see, I have the name, which is the proper name, Maldives Arena. It has 52.7K subscribers. Sorry. Let me just move it. We have, it's probably gone on to almost 52,800. So it kind of rounds up. It has 42 million views. Is that what we have? Yep, 42 million views. And it joined in 2020. And if I have a look, yeah, it joined in 2020. And it's given me my... it's giving me my channel ID. Now this last revenue that I have here, as I said, I haven't found a way to do it automatically, so we do need to do it manually, which is in Social Blade, to find out how much money they make approximately every month. And basically all I do is grab the handle, put it in Social Blade, and once I find out, so they make between 1.3k to 20.7k. So I'm like, okay, they make about 20,700 at the most. And if I go to my Airtable, so my Airtable is sorted to sort the fields by revenue from highest to lowest. So even though my Maldives Arena was the last entry, as soon as I put the revenue here, which is 20,700, you will see that this will automatically put it up the top to the very top. So the reason I've done it this way is because I want to look at the most successful channels and then model after them. And this is it. So make sure that you learn how to create your YouTube API with the video underneath. It's step by step. It's super easy. And this is something you can use forever and a day for all kinds of other things. You will get this blueprint, follow it, and you'll also get the template for the database that you can use as well.